Democrats are avoiding questions about court packing as the election nears. But court packing is as old as government itself and more common than you think. And the masters of court packing are Republicans. If you look at the average American looks at SCOTUS, they look at the federal, sometimes they look at federal appointments, but they forget about state appointments. I mean, you talk about packing. The court packing state to state has been incredible by the Republicans, and the Democrats sit there twiddling their thumbs and talk about something completely unrelated. What is your take?
Well, you know, the Washington Post, believe it or not, actually did a really good layout of what's been happening state by state over the last few years recently. And they pointed out that, look, if you go to Georgia or Florida or South Carolina or Iowa or Pennsylvania, Alabama, any of these states, you're going to see that over the years there have been these court packing efforts where when Republicans in power can't get their way, what do? Well, we're just going to add 2 seats to the Supreme Court. We're going to add 5 seats. Oh, we're going to take some seats away or try to take some seats away. Democrats have done that, tried to take seats away. Because the courts, to them, it's just a political tool to achieve their goal. And if it's not working, you change the tool, you use a different tool, you add more to it.
Right.
That's what they do.
Specifically, you've got Georgia added 2. They went from 7 to 9, adding more judges so they could. It's all ideology. Those judges aren't ideologically lined up with this, so we're going to add 2 more. Doubled in Florida, there was an attempt to actually double from 7 to 15. Actually, more than double. Went from 7 to 15, and that failed. But you go to Iowa, as you pointed out, the attempt was made. South Carolina, these are all Republican efforts, but the Democrats doing the same thing. It's an ideological war taking place in the states.
Right, and we've seen it with the U.S. Supreme Court, too. You know, everybody says, no, there's 9, there has to be 9. Okay, well, go back 80 years ago, there wasn't 9.
Right.
You know, that is a relatively, there's people alive today who remember a time when we didn't have 9 Supreme Court justices. More were added to help with the, I believe it was with New Deal.
It was. Yes,
to help secure the future of that. So adding more justices or even taking some justices away, that is not unprecedented. But the big thing we need to talk about is not necessarily packing the courts, which needs to happen, but the term limits. Without term limits, packing the courts becomes meaningless because Republicans will add, everybody will add until eventually we got a 100-seat court.
Well, not only that, but the Republicans have been smart enough to add really young people.
Right.
I mean, their goal is, let me get somebody as young as I can on the court that has qualifications. They're going to be there a millennium. Everything's going to be okay for our politics.
And Democrats are looking at old folks home for their nominees.
Exactly.